This is ALLDOCUBE's latest 2-in-1 Windows 11 PC, the ALLDOCUBE iWork GT. The portable PC has attracted a lot of attention in the past 2 years, and it seems that 2-in-1 tablet is becoming a good option for mobile office, study, and entertainment. Well, we think the iWork GT is definitely a great budget example for you to first try this form. Then no more words, let's see what we got here. Okay, just a look at its design first. On the front, this Windows tablet looks pretty the same as those Android tablets we have reviewed. It also comes with an 11-inch FHD Plus LCD display with a standard 60Hz refresh rate. And it supports 98 sRGB colors and a 75 P3 colors. In daily use like watching film, it looks pretty good. There's no problem if you view it at a side angle, as it supports 180 wide view angles. On the top of the display, there's a front camera for video conference. Apart from the front one, it also equips a rear camera just like the Huawei MateBook E tablet. But don't expect too much from the imaging quality of these two cameras. Well, from the size, you will know how different it is from Android tablets. The variety of interfaces and the air vents seems to remind us that it is a more powerful Windows PC. And if you get close enough, you will hear the noise coming out of the built-in fan, but it's not too loud, while it's still acceptable. There's two USB-C ports on the left side along with the micro HDMI video out port. On the right side, it features another USB 3.1 port and a micro SD slot along with a 3.5mm audio jack. As a tablet, it does exceed our expectations. In addition to the wired connectivity, the iWork GT also supports pretty good wireless connection, including the Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1. Especially for the Wi-Fi, it's driven by the Intel AX201, which is a great chipset for wireless network. And the speaker intakes on the both sides also indicate that the tablet also comes with dual speaker units for stereo sound, but the actual sound is not really impressive. A good news is that the iWork GT is running the Windows 11. Instead of updating the system by yourself, you would get the tablet shipping with the new Windows 11 Home Edition, and there's no need to worry whether it runs smoothly or not, because the tablet is powered by a Gen 11th Intel mobile chip, and there's an i3 and i5 versions for options. The model in our hand is with an i3 1115G4 chip, which is more like a budget option for light uses. Or you can also get the i5 model to get better performance. In addition, what really surprised us is that the 8GB RAM is running at a very fast speed, which as you can see here, it's 3733 MHz, which is also the highest speed supported by the i3 CPU. While for the i5 version, it seems to be able to clock even faster at 4267 MHz. They are even faster than some latest desktop PC. And we also have an NVMe 256GB drive on board, and the speed is really also not bad. The i3 CPU integrates 2 processor cores and 4 threads thanks to hyper-threading. Each core can clock from 3 GHz base to 4.1 GHz boost. In actual test, the operating range of the CPU is specified at 12 to 15 watts. And thanks to the fast speed RAM, we have to say that it does have a good performance for Windows 11. And the i3 chip's graphics is naming the GPU UHD graphics and offers 48 of the 96 EUs clocked at 400 to 1250 MHz. While for the i5 version, there's more power XE graphics with 80 EUs. Anyway, let's look back at the model we have in hand. For the 20-minute CPU stress test, the i3 CPU is able to stable the run at the power at 12 watt to 15 watt. And let's kick this one off with a look at the Cinebench R23 and R20. The result is also not bad for such power output. For daily uses like office productivity, the tablet works pretty well, and the result in PC Mark 10 also proved it. Even for light digital content creation, the iWork GT can also offer relatively good support. For video playback, the chip also works well with different video files, and it does well native decoding for 4K and even 10-bit tapes. Then we run some games on the 720p on the tablets, including CSGO and PUBG. For CSGO, surprisingly, it could finish the FPS benchmark at the 97 FPS frame rate. But in heavy games like PUBG, the 8GB RAM is not really enough to support the computing of both the CPU and GPU. So it would be better to go for the 16GB RAM version if you play these kinds of games. With no memory problems encountered, the i3 model of the iWork GT still can run the game at around 40 FPS or even better. The single